Nationwide here in Ethiopia, election is supposed to be held every 5 years as per the constitution. However, the federal government has postponed the election because of COVID-19, and a clear timetable is not yet set when to conduct the election. Following this, the Tigray regional state government, in defiance of the federal's decision, has decided to hold a regional election. The sixth national election is not happening at least for now, but Tigray has chosen to conduct its first regional election on September 9, 2020. In this election, 5 political parties will be contesting, namely TPLF, Asimba, Sawat, Baitona, and TEP. The Regional Electoral Commission played its significant role executing the necessary preparations ahead of the polls. All contesting parties had openly debated on TV and through other medias. The campaign trail was never seen before. Election campaign posters were put up everywhere. According to the Tigray Regional Electoral Commission, 2.7 million voters have registered to vote. 15 million birr was allocated for the campaign of the contesting political parties. The capital city of Tigray, Mekelle, is buzzing with election activities, and anyone can see what's happening in the city. Now all is set and ready to go, and everyone's eye, near and afar, is on Tigray's election. The support rallies held by Tagaru in the diaspora and the social media campaign has made the election to be awaited eagerly by many. This morning, September 9, 2020, TMH arrived in various voting stations. Our first visit was to Sapsidi Qadamay Wayana, Qabale 15. Voters were lined up starting early in the morning, 3 a.m. Polls opened at 6 a.m. Voters were wearing masks and holding their hand sanitizers and, of course, their voting card were also with them while they were waiting in the line to vote. And while we were there, we met Ambassador Adisalam Balema while voting, and we had a brief interview with him. Take a listen to what he has to say. Ambassador, welcome. So I have met you here in Qabale 15 to vote. However, Tigray has gone to the polls today in defiance of the federal government's decision. What's your view on that?
Is it in defiance of the federal government? I don't think so. The constitution has already provided for the regions to the right to self-determination. And if the regional parliament could decide on the regions, even right up to secession, I think this is below that. And the right to vote, the right to form your own government is part of the right to administer yourself. And it's enshrined in the Constitution. The Constitution doesn't put everything, in detail. You have to interpret it. But the House of Federation interprets it wrongly. That's the only reason that we are here.
Okay, thank you. The other thing is, it was supposed to be held this year. I mean, as per the Constitution, every 5 years. However, that's not happening. But today in Tigray, that polling is going on. So what does it mean? What are the implications for the party TPLF after 45 years of bitter struggle? And also, what is the implications for the Tigray people at large?
The people of Tigray fought for long for right of determination, self-determination, and the people has achieved it, through sacrifice and through, paid every price that can be paid in this world. We paid with lives, we paid with property destruction, we paid with everything. And this right is enshrined in the Constitution, and the Constitution, we have to interpret it positively, because it says, Article 39 says, the people have the right to self-determination up to secession. And that right can be invoked by the regional parliament. So if that right can be invoked by the regional government, then the right to vote is, below that right. So I think the people of Tigray deserves to vote.
Okay, thank you. And the other thing is, some say that when Tigray goes to the polls today, this could really escalate the situation with the central government. What would the central government do following the Tigray election?
Why does it escalate a problem with the federal government? What's the federal government going to lose from these elections? In fact, this is a plus to the country. It's an exercise of democratic rights. So it doesn't have to be, unless some people want it to be escalated. So with the federal government, I don't expect any problem. We can sit and negotiate, all the parties. We were proposing for a long time, there must be a broad-based negotiation between parties, and the parties have to agree on a framework, on an arrangement, how to go about it, how to lead this country. These countries, I think we have to work hard. From this country is going in a very, very rough situation, and we have to bring it back to peaceful situation.
Okay. So finally, not finally, Inji, I have one question after that. So now the central government, why is not happy with the way TPLF is leading the region? And some say that TPLF is increasingly acting as an independent state and government. I mean, how do you see that?
I think more than anybody else, TPLF fought for the unity of Ethiopia. The unity we see is, based on the nationalities' right to be respected according to the constitution. We don't see like a unitary state that demolishes the rights of nations and nationalities. If it's based on the right of self-determination, I think we are in a good footing. We can sit down and negotiate. And the federal government doesn't have to be angry with the Tigray people. This is not a matter for TPLF. It's a matter of the Tigrayan people. The Tigrayan people decided to hold this vote in its parliament, and the parliament represents the people. So they have to respect the people. So I don't see any problem unless they want it. They have to sit down, work it out, and let's solve our problems. We can agree on a framework, how to take this country out of its mess.
Okay, finally, what should we expect after the Tigray elections 2020? Would the relationship of TPLF and the central government sour, or would it get better?
It doesn't have to. There are people, I don't know what their objective is. They want to escalate this problem, the so-called conflict. But I don't see any conflict. The federal government had to sit down with parties who have big constituencies. I don't think we have to bring on all 100-something parties together. Let's start it with few parties who have big majority of big number of constituencies, and then we can widen it into to encompass everybody. We can agree on a framework. We can agree on an arrangement, how to go about it. And sooner or later, the country have to come to elections. The people have to decide. So the federal government have to agree that the people have to decide. I don't think coronavirus is a problem at this time. It's a problem, but not for elections. Everybody is, holding polls in Europe, in Asia, so many countries. So we have to come into this reality and then solve our problem.
Okay, Ambassador, thank you for your time and for your view.
Thank you very much. Thank you for us.
Later on, we went to Kabale 16 to another polling station where voters already were standing in line. The local youth were also coordinating and helping the voters. The long lines stretch as far as the eye can see. One of the voters who we met during our visit to 16 Kabale, namely Tatu Abraham, she has to say this during our interview with her. Take a listen. Hello and welcome. So I met you here in 16 Kabale polling station. So why are you here? And first tell me your name and where you're from.
Okay, so I'm Tatu. I'm from this Kabale and I'm here to vote.
Okay, good. So what does voting mean to you in simple terms?
Oh, exercising your right. That's how, exercising my right, exercising democracy. Yeah.
Okay, so the rest, I mean, election was supposed to be conducted every 5 years at a national level. That's not happening, but Tigray is conducting its election. How do you see that? And how do you feel about it?
I'm happy, that we're exercising. There is this saying, election belongs to the people, and the people wants or chooses to elect its leaders every 5 years, as always, and is exercising that. So I'm happy to see that, and I'm proud.
Should the federal government be allowing this or not?
It should not be anyone to
At anyone's mercy.
Yeah, at anyone's mercy. No one should allow to or tell anyone to do about choice. So here the people of Tigray choose to vote or to elect its leaders, and that's what's exercising. So I wish the federal government supports this healthy way of exercising democracy. So it's not doing that, and I'm not happy about that, but I wish they support it. That's it.
Okay, good. So now a new year is coming. We are already on the edge of the new year. We are ringing out the old year. So, and a lot of young boys and girls, women. I mean, a lot of diasporas are in the diaspora. Tagaro diaspora is there. So, what's your message to them as Happy New Year? What do you want to say to them?
I want to say Happy Ethiopian New Year, and I want to say to Tigrayan people, I wish them to have a successful election, and I hope they'll be happy.
Yeah, maybe some of them, they don't know that election is happening. So they will say that, are we holding an election? What's your message?
I mean, here the 2.7 million voters have registered to participate in this election. So not knowing about it is not going to be a problem of us or the ones who are hosting the election. So just that's
good point, and good to have you here. Okay, thank you for your time. After finalizing our visit to Kabale 16, we headed to Kabale 12. Is also one of the voting stations here in the capital city, and this place was also packed with people who were standing to vote in line like the other voting stations. One of the voters, named Ato Dagmawi, talked to us on the election, and he has shared his view to us. Hello and welcome. Thank you for your time. So tell me your name and your job.
All right. Thank you. First of all, I would like to say thank you for your asking me about myself. So my name is Mr. Gramadoid. I'm a teacher.
What do you teach?
Just this time, I'm not just teaching. Just I'm doing my leadership stuff, just like educational leadership, as academic staff, like academic director in Nicholas Robinson School.
Okay, good to know. Now, I met you here in Kabale 12, and I assume you're here to vote. Is that correct?
Yes, you are right. I'm here to be one of the tremendous election, to be member for that. So I am just coming here to vote in Tigray region election.
Okay, good. As we know, the national election was supposed to be held every 5 years. However, the central government has postponed that because of the COVID. At least that's the reason we know for now. But the Tigray regional government has decided also, on the other hand, to go to the polls. And here we are today, and people are electing, such as yourself. How do you see this? Just share your views on this.
All right. This is just the right to be elect or vote yourself. We have just written, and also it's just written in what we call it in the constitution. So this is our right. It doesn't matter what the federal government says, but our regional government just decided with the need of the people. So if the need of the people is just voting to vote his leaders, so it's just mandatory to vote. So we don't care about the what we call the so-called federal government. So we are just deciding, our government leaders and the people need to be just on the time, on the right time, on the 5 years election. So we are doing that. So just it's our interest. So even it has acceptance with the worldwide, just government is also accepted everything what we are doing here. So if it is just a support from the government, so from the regional government, so we are just deciding to vote. It's just our vote anyways. That's why we are here.
Okay, so some people say that this, the people of Tigray don't want this, but TPLF is doing this. How do you see this? Is it correct? Is it about TPLF or is it about people of Tigray?
No, it's just it's not about the TPLF. It's not it's not about the single part. It's party. What I mean. So it's just the need or the right of the people, not the right of the TPLF. TPLF is one member of the party. So we have 5 parties to compete, and they were just campaigning last time. So the people accepted that. So it's not just the right of the TPLF. It's the right of the constitution and the right of the people. It doesn't have any connection with TPLF or something. So it's just the right of the people to vote. Yeah.
Okay, now finally, when you come here to the polling station, what time did you arrive here?
I was just early coming here. Yes, it was 12 o'clock local time. So I was here. This was a long line, a queue kind of thing. So I was just waiting for that. Then I'm here now. This was my turn now to be in the vote place.
Yeah, when you come to the polling station, do you have your masks, your sanitizer? Because we know that COVID is the global pandemic and a global problem. So do you have your masks, your sanitizers? Do the voters have that?
Yeah, it's just a good question. The main thing that we are just not to lose is just the mask and the sanitizer kind of thing. Even with that's fighting with the central government is also about the COVID kind of thing. So we have the mask here, and I have the sanitizer here. I should to wear it now.
But I didn't see your voting card.
Yeah. Here also my voting card. Just I keep it in my pocket just to be safe. So
can you turn it around so that we can see it?
Yeah, of course. This is my carding vote. So I should to save it here till I put my just. So this is all about. Let me read.
Okay, all right, that's good. That's we need to protect COVID and we need to do the elections as well. So finally, do you have any messages, Happy New Year messages to the diaspora the Tagaro diaspora who are residing all over the world, who couldn't really come here and vote? Any message for them? Any New Year message?
Of course, this is the first for Tigrayan people to vote with their own different kinds of parties, but it is the 6th time for just nationally, but it's only the single that we are just tremendously, we call it. And also, it's just a new year now. It's just in Ethiopian New Year. So I would like to say just a happy New Year for all Ethiopian diasporas, or Tigrayan especially diasporas. And I wish to have a good and based election. This is all about my wish. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. See you.
Okay.
Then finally, our morning visit to the polling stations was wrapped up by going to
Eider Subsidy and Kabele 03, and we met a young man, and he has shared his view with us as well. And let's take a listen.
Okay, good morning. Hi. So tell me your name, please.
I'm Amani Tadase. I'm coordinator of this station, Select.
Okay, so you are the coordinator of this voting station here in Kabele 03, Subsidy Eider. So tell me what you have, as an electoral coordinator here in this subsidy, tell me the things you've done.
Okay, I select by the society, and the election is freely and smoothly, as you see it, and the people, they select by motivation, and they select us, they select their wants, and this is the selection.
Okay, good. So what time did you start today? What time did you open this polling station?
Okay, 12 o'clock in the morning, and still we select a lot of people, and they comes still.
Okay, good. So far, everything is going good?
Yeah, yes, that's good. As the selectors are happy, and the parties are here, and they see a lot of things, and that is free.
Okay, one thing, so you know the Ethiopian New Year is coming, and so do you have any message to the Ethiopian diaspora, in the diaspora, and to Tagaro as well, to Tagaro diasporas as well?
Okay, I have a message. We select the regional election, and we are happy, and if they do, if they support us by anything, we need them, and we support our Tigray, we develop our Tigray, and they need for them, and they need for them, and the supporters from the diaspora, and they visit our country, our Tigray especially, and we will invite them.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, all our viewers. This is our coverage for the morning session of the Tigray election 2020, and we'll be back in the afternoon with more details.